Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, and this is the second video. So we're just going to keep it moving forward a little bit. I have kind of this, you can't see it. This is my bottle of sage oil, essential oil, from Young Living. I am a distributor, and if you need some oils, come talk to me in my inbox. VALERIE AMES on Facebook. This video is a very special video, beloveds. This is a video concerning ground zero and self-identity, self-identification, and what it means going into 2018. Excuse me for pushing this around. I'm trying to just get myself in a grounded state so that I can do this the way it's supposed to be done. And okay. Okay. Um, I did a video recently where I shared that I had an episode. I'm here in California with my daughter, my son-in-law, and my grandchildren, my 5 grandchildren. And a lot of emotional stuff was going on. And I was sitting on the bench, and after me and my daughter just had this very emotional um, conversation, I'll put it that way. And she left, and my grandson was sitting at the table, and my youngest grandson was walking around being himself with his little 1-year-old self. And all of a sudden, something took my breath away. And I, trying to fight it or whatever, I went sideways and fell off the stool. And as I was laying on the floor, fighting to get my breath, I was having an outer body experience. And what was being told to me by the ancestors was that I was being reset back to ground zero. And I had no clue as to what that meant, and I'm still meditating on it and understanding what that means. And I'd like to thank those of you, my dearest beloveds, who have offered your understandings and your reasonings and your logic and your answers to what you believe being reset at ground zero means. That has, I really appreciate it. I really show much gratitude for it. It means a lot to me. Um, Excuse me for all these but this is, let me get to where I can receive better. Ground myself, position myself. One more time. Okay. The I am principle, the I am identification, the I am understanding of ourselves is what is happening in 2018. It is the ground zero. It is where we need to reset ourselves from in order to have a place to evolve from, a point to evolve from, to grow from. This is where we want to plant ourselves, the seed of our understanding, the seed that we want nourished and fed. We want to self-identify. We want to tap back into our roots. What was given um, to me is that I was shown a spider web, and in the spider creating that web, you have to understand that what was shown to me is that spider represents all of my ancestors since the first one that inhabited the planet Earth. All of that goes into that web that this spider is weaving. That web, when it is finished, is the flesh that I am residing in right now, that my spirit is in. And I carry all of this knowledge forward into this space right here in this present moment. And in this present moment, I am aware of the spiders. I am aware of the web. I am aware of the wind. I am aware of everything around me. My senses are open. And in understanding that and trying to understand it more, what I'm realizing is that my body, this flesh, that for the longest time I have rejected, denied, abused, um, just about everything you can think of, mistreated, loved at times, worshipped at times, adored, hated, whatever, the whole gamut is there. And I have been working more so on my spiritual um, journey, my spiritual self, that part of myself, whoa, mm, that part can never be taken. That part can never be stripped. That part can never be diminished. That part is who she is. And she is evolving. And she has gotten to the point where she is now integrating. She is now reweaving the emotional self into that spiritual self. She is now weaving and integrating the mental self into the spiritual self. She is like the mama, the mantle, the vulture, gathering all of who she is into her, into myself. And this ground zero means that okay, you've done that. You've mastered it to the point of where you are right now, and you can't go farther than that without mastering this physical. You have to get your physical together now in order to house and be able to do what you need to do to harness, to bring forward into 2018 and farther. Because things are coming that are really going to test you, test your identity, and try to strip it away from you, strip you bare of your sovereign inheritance, so to speak. And it is in understanding this that I am coming forward with what I'm coming forward with. And the way I'm sharing it is the way I'm experiencing it and learning it. And it will not be the same for everybody. But, like I said, we are here to communicate. I am a reflection of you as you are a reflection of me. This system, with all this dysfunction, with all this dis-ease, is physical. It is the physical body of which is housing my spirit and causing me discomfort and causing me dis-ease. And just as I am allowing this to happen, I am also able to reverse it and to heal it. And to not only heal it in this space and time, but to heal it going backwards and forwards. But it has to start in this present moment. And I have to be aware of what is going on. And what is going on, like I said, is the understanding of I am who I am because of my ancestors. I am shaped the way I am shaped. Not just because of the way I choose to eat or the way I choose to do this, that, and that, but because of my ancestors. This is how the women in my family, they're shaped. They are large women, all of them. Even what you would call the small ones, they still big breasted and wide hipped in small ways. And no matter the rape, no matter the molestations, no matter the ups and downs in relationships, no matter what society tells us about our body, we have got to learn to self identify. When I say I am Valerie Ames, I am all that I am. And I'm claiming it. And I'm owning it. And I'm defending it. And I'm sharing it. And I am revering it. And I am adoring it. And this is where we all have to get to. We are not sheep. We are capable of being self governing. We are capable of our own thoughts and our own thinking and our own manners and our own individuality, whether another understands it, understands it, likes it, or doesn't like it. None of that should matter to you. That's them. That's their identity. If their identity needs to find fault in everybody else's identity, that's them. Leave it to them. And pray that one day they'll come to the fact that you're so busy looking and running behind everybody else's and judging everybody else's. Who are you? Who are you? Beloveds, this is, like I said, this is where Spirit is really gifting me right now, really filling me. And I am so grateful. I am so grateful um, to be at this place right now. And I am on the Earth grid where the Pacific Ocean is. I am in a section where the Amazon, Khalifa, who California is named after, the earth that she walked, I am picking up on her energies. I am picking up on so much ancestral strength and identity that it is blowing my mind. It took my breath away to speak to me. Okay? And now I'm here speaking to you. I really want to focus on, again, self identity. Understanding that if your ancestors were slaves, they passed on strength and endurance to you. If your ancestors were conquerors or the conquered, they still passed on strength and ability to you. You have been given the tools that you need. Know yourself. Know yourself. Know thyself. Know thyself. Know the cycles and the seasons. Know what is occurring. Know what 2018 is bringing to you and what you need to be doing in this present moment of time. And understand what is going on around you. You are beginning to awaken to your identity as an individual sovereign being. And what the system is doing is trying to take that away from you. That is why you have the controversy of the races right now. That is why you have the conflicts of the countries and the nations. That is why we have a Donald Trump in play right now, because what is and who is his identity? I'm going to snap in a minute, and it's not going to be nice, and it's going to be caught on tape. Uh-huh. I accept your apology. Excuse me. Um, where was I? Donald Trump. You need to understand why a Donald Trump, we have manifested a Donald Trump, and he is allowed to show us who we are, who we have become. He is a lesson for us to identify ourselves. to know and to let him know, you cannot take my identity away from me. You may have enslaved my ancestors. You may have persecuted them. You may have brutalized them. You may have gotten rid of some of them with genocide. You may have raped my mothers and my aunties and my sisters. But baby, I'm here. And I know who I am. And I know where I come from. And I know what's with me and around me and inside of me. And I'm allowing that to come through, to shine, to shine. And I don't have to open my mouth and say nothing. It's in my presence. It's in the way I walk. It's in the bounce of my ass. It's in the sides of my cheeks. It's in the shape of my eyes. It's in the flavor of my lips. I am all that I am. And I am recognizing that. And I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of the ones with the cheekbones. I'm not ashamed of the ones with the jiggly fat. I'm not. Because I know what you put them through. And I know why you did it. So that I would not know who I am. And that I would try to be more like you and your holographic, empty shell of a self-perpetrated God than the goddess that I was born to be. Okay? And you will not, with my last and dying breath, I will teach my children and my grandchildren to know who they are. And they are not those who live on reservations. They are not those who live in huts, starving skeletons. Who they are is inside, that is still on this earth, surviving and enduring and waiting for the right moment to know themselves. And we have been so beaten down. We have been so infiltrated with your programming because you don't know who you are. You go around mimicking everybody else's culture because you don't have one. Because you are a false god. And any other representation of the Creator must be diminished, must be denied, must be demonized. So you must do that to me in order to have your illusion continue, in order to feed your greed, your need for an identity. You are a vampire. You are a beast. That is your identity. And you are good with that. And you are afraid. Do you hear me? And I know you're afraid. You're afraid. You fear those who know who they are. You fear those with the abilities to access the ancestral knowledge, the record keepers, those who are learning to understand and manipulate and manifest based upon the knowing and the believing and the trusting and the loving of themselves. It is no longer about being weird. It is no longer about being different. It is no longer about any of that. We are learning individually and as a collective who we are, who we are, how strong we are, how beautiful we are, and how we can manifest, how we can bring about the healing for generations, past and future, by weaving in this moment and integrating the knowledge and evolving. That's what that spiral is all about. That's what that circle is all about. If I were to put a dot and put another circle and a bigger circle, and I ask you, where is God in that? Most of you would say, God is in the middle. God is that little, and I would tell you, no, God is all of that, all of it, and none of it, all at the same time. Most of you could understand that, and there are some of you that can't and won't. But again, that is your choice because you are too afraid to see exactly how powerful you are. You would rather remain someone's victim. You would rather remain somebody's little lapdog, Omarosa. You would rather be anything than what you are truly capable of being because you believe in the lies. You want to be admired. You want to fit in. You want to feel popular. You want the wealth, the glitz, the glamour, all that outside bullshit that this world says is your wealth, a measure of who you are. Baby, baby. If that's what you think wealth is, they got you. They got you, boo. They got you. Wake up. Wake up. I love you enough to see you as my reflection and to say, you are a part of me. I need you. Wake up. Wake up. Enough is enough. Wake up. Own yourself. Know yourself. Don't be ashamed of your ancestors, what they did, whether they had human sacrifices, whatever they did. Do not be ashamed of them because whatever they did that to put it inside of you, to bring it to ground zero and to grow from it. That is your fertile soil. Your ancestors are your fertile soil. You are the seed. You need to grow. You need to come up out of there. You need to burst with the knowing of yourself and become fruitful with that knowing. And like I said, that is what ground zero is to me now. My physical body, I am getting ready to work on it because I'm being told, like I said, that I've been working on my emotional, my mental, and my spiritual, and it is like ding, but it can go no farther if this physical body don't have nothing whole, if it's too diseased or if it's too broke down or if whatever, I'm dead, I'm dead. I can't do what I'm here to do. I failed in my mission. I've only gone so far because I didn't take care of my container, my vessel, my house, okay, my web, so to speak. And I'm really about to get on that. And it's not going to be fun. It's not. It's going to take discipline that I'm going to have to learn, that I have denied within myself, okay? And babied and did all kinds of things with. And This is where I am going forward into 2018. This is not a resolution. No, this is a solution. This is the solution. This is not a resolution. No, this is the solution. Know thyself, and to thyself be true. Honor your ancestors. Honor your elders. Honor those negative and positive who have the ability to influence because they are your teachers. Do not resent the moment. Do not resent the lesson. Learn from it. Evolve from it. Grow from it. And beloveds, if you know anyone who can benefit from this video, from this message, please pass it on. Pass it on, because that changes the frequency. It raises the vibration. And the more of us that can raise that frequency and raise that vibration and sit in this vibration, watch things manifest, watch things change, watch an increase in your real wealth, which is self-knowledge. And I'm going to end this momentarily. What I did, I had a beloved who used to work for me, and he would do some things with the radio show and so forth for me, and I paid him for that. And this year, um, he said, "I'm giving you this money that you paid me back." And I said, "What? Why?" Because if it was some reason that didn't set or resonate with the ancestors, I was going to say no. But he said, "This is the space I'm in. This is the space I need to create." And I said, "Okay, I can accept that." And I accepted the money back. And with part of that money, I bought my granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter, Valerie, who's named after me, her first tarot deck. And that deck is the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. And the card set itself hasn't come, but what I did was I flipped through the pages, and I asked Spirit to just take me to where I needed to be. And let me find it because I closed the book a little bit ago. So I'm going to keep talking, but I'm also going to keep looking for it. And it was Mommy Water. So let me just see if I can find it again. And I ask you once again to excuse the noise. There we go. So on page 56 and page 57. And I'm going to show you these pictures. This is, first of all, a very feminine deck. And that is why I wanted my granddaughter to have it, because the energy is so feminine, so powerful, so such a foundation. This is the best foundation for her. And again, like I said, I just turned to, in the book, flipped through it and said, "Mama, give me what I need, to share." Because I didn't bring my tarot decks with me here, and I wanted to share something on this video. And so this is what came. Mami Watu, the mermaid, maiden of cups, Pisces. The goddess in her maiden form was often portrayed as the most beautiful, magnetic, seductive woman imaginable. Her fishtail symbolizes her domain over the waters of life, and she was the personification of all desires, dreams, and all those experiences that lure us with promise of pleasure or wisdom and threaten to overwhelm us. She is the ultimate mystery. And that came from God herself, Geraldine Thurston. The mermaid holds a mirror, which is a symbol of the powers of women mirroring the wondrous powers of the goddess. Mami Watu, promise or Mami Water, promises the discovery and exploration of our dreams, visions, and emotions. She then lures us to the goddess and teaches us how to flow and be spontaneous. The mermaid is the message of a new love, which is positive and romantic, bringing endearments, sensitivity, and those gestures that make us feel special. In order to experience her clear reflection in the mirror, Mami Watu also needs times of solitude and meditation. Knowledge of her emotional self is beginning to surface as a new lover appears. The maiden plunges, taking a multitude of risks. Upside down or tilted position can indicate forgetfulness and spaciness. Drifting with the tides, it can also mean invalidated emotions, represented feelings, or unrequited love. And beloved, all of those are shadow things. No matter how this card represents, those things are, they're there. They're in our own. Baby, could you turn off that light for me? Thank you, Amate. Yep, that one. Thank you. All those things are in us. And those are reflections. And that requires us to really understand what the symbol of the mirror means. And most of you know I'm into the Egyptian um, cosmology and panthology right now of learning and bringing forward ancient information. And this is um, the time period and the energy vibrations of knowing yourself. This is the knowing of the gods, of the great gods. Okay? And so this is where this is coming from and coming through. And so I want you to understand what that mirror is. And that big disc that they had on their head that they would carry, that is a mirror. And so let's move on to Namu, Nammu, Mother of Cups, and she is Cancer. She comes riding on a whale, bringing the fullness of emotions, romance, and laughter. She is a pleasure loving, laughing goddess of the sea, a friend and mother of the water creatures with whom she plays. The ocean is our primal source. This ocean mother shows us how to nurture without dependency. Namu represents the art of self acceptance and listening to your feelings. This goddess has a strong rapport with children, a nurturing, protective energy as she integrates mothering and imaginative processes. Namu can also represent early home circumstances and a desire to return to childhood and memories and fantasies, and through that process, to reclaim the child within ourselves. Perhaps there is a necessity to deal with present relationships to children or to your mother. If this card is tilted or reversed, there may be some bitterness about childhood or an inability to relate to children now. Be careful of acting out your anger against children instead of putting it where it belongs. Sometimes we long for the protected and carefree state of a childhood we may never have had. It could also indicate that you might need to give or receive emotional nurturing. And beloveds, I'm going to show you these cards once again. And the deck that my daughter has um, is in black and white, just like it is in this book. And she gets to color them. She gets to put her energy into them, her spin on them as she learns to read them and use them. So, beloved brother, I thank you. My granddaughter thanks you for the gift and what it symbolizes and what it means. And again, beloveds, this is Daughters of Moon Tarot. They're big round cards. And again, beloveds, this is about identity, self-identity, and self-love, and understanding your strengths and understanding why you are where you are in and at this moment, and your need and your ability to evolve. It's all in you. You've just got to learn to listen to your ancestors and know yourself, own yourself, your own sovereignty, and don't let people take your identity away from you. If you know about the Willie Lynch letter, you know that in the blacks, this has been breeded into us. This programming, this denigration of our self-identity as spiritual beings. So when we get into music and when we get into dance and when we get into fashion and when we do everything else, that is our spirit expressing itself. And they exploit that and make money off of it, make dollars, their wealth off of your spiritual wealth, your spirit, which is your spiritual identity. And you don't even recognize what's taking place. You are so in tuned with what they think is wealth that you don't even understand the value of your own family anymore. We have a long way to go. Let yourself come back to ground zero, beloveds. That means no more shame, no more blame. That means being ready to evolve. You know, there's this saying, Gil Scott Heron said, the revolution would not be televised. I give you that. I give you that. The revolution has to be inside of you. And they're not going to show us waking up and growing. They're not going to show us reclaiming ourselves, because to do that would be to undo what they've done. See, they've been telling the conqueror's story. They've been telling the hunter's story, not the lion's story. When the lion tells the story, baby, it's a whole different version. And guess who's getting ready to speak? And guess who's getting ready to roar? And guess who's getting ready to take back their identities? You know, the ones that you have that you used as your heralds on all your shields and everything else? Oh, it's getting ready to be on. And it's getting ready to be popping, baby, like hot butter popcorn. Okay? Because we are waking up. And let me tell you what's going to be televised. The evolution. The evolution will be televised. Worldwide, baby. Worldwide. Because we, as a race of people, as a race of human beings, are getting ready to self-identify. Identify with ourselves, of who we are, past, present, and future. And we are getting ready to right shit. We're getting ready to make it right. And the only way to do that is by starting from ground zero. Ground zero was always knowing yourself. How can you move forward without knowing who you are? Without knowing what you're capable of, not believing in yourself, being so undercut and so undermined, being so dominated and so bullied, being murdered, lynched, raped, having dogs sent on you, being scalped and burned, thinking this is what life is. This is, I'm a sinner, or this is what God wills, because this is what your oppressor tells you. That's their God. It's not your ancestors' God. Your ancestors said, within you, within, and look inside of you. My strength is inside of you. My wisdom, my knowledge is inside of you. My ability to love is inside of you. My ability to connect with the earth and bring about wealth and healing and abundance is within you. But you don't know yourself because you've been told you're stupid. You're less than human. You're this and you're that. And you believed it. And not only did you believe it, but you fostered that belief in your children. You have allowed. It is that is over with. No more allowing, no more sacrificing our children to the beast. No more saying, I'm helpless. No more being a victim. Stand up. Stand your ground. Learn. Open up your heart center. Learn what your chakras are. If they need cleaning and balancing and unblocking, what's stopping you? What's stopping you? Let me guess. The latest craze, the latest fashion, some bill you got to pay because that is more important for you to invest in than investing into yourself because you are nothing. You are no one. And nothing is going to ever change.